how'd I meet Trav? He was the apple on a stick kid at the track meets in, like, elementary school. Like, we went to the same high school, but we didn't go to the same elementary school. And all of our elementary schools in the city would meet up for a track meet. And every track meet, every year, he was always the kid. He always had a fucking apple on a stick. Like, he was the weird kid that everyone was kind of scared of. They're like, what the fuck's up with that guy? He always had an apple on a stick, and he'd, like, chase people with it. So that's how I knew. That's how I found out about Trav. He was the apple on a stick kid. Like, everybody knew who he was, because, like, he would always do weird shit, and you're like, oh, God, it's this fucking guy. But then, yeah, we later became friends, because we were in grade 10 religion together. Yeah, it was a Catholic school, and we had to, like, learn about all this shit. Anyway, we were sitting in the back of class together, and we got talking about shit, and I don't know, he knew that I was into video games, and that I had, like, I collected, like, retro consoles. So he drew me, and he drew a picture of me smoking out of a crack pipe that was shaped like an N64. And he had a text that said N64 crack pipe and the arrow pointing to the crack pipe, like, just to specify that it was an N64 crack pipe. It was like a controller. It was an N64 controller that, like, I was, like, sucking out of it or something like that. Like, I don't even know. It was some crazy contraption. But anyway, he drew me the picture. Oh, it's long gone now. We would not have that. But yeah, he drew me that picture, and then I kind of... This is, like, at the end of the day, and then we ended up walking home together. And he was already friends with, like, one of my buddies that I kind of just became friends with. So we all ended up just kind of walking together. And then that same day after school, Trav walked into my house, like, uninvited. Like, we were walking as a group, and I still didn't even really know who Trav was that much. Like, we weren't, like, on, like, super talking terms. So me and the other guy, we're just walking home normally, and Trav, like, butts ahead, and like, but he knew where I lived. So he walked in my fucking house. Like, he was, like, 100 meters ahead of us. And he just walks in my house, steals a cookie out of the fucking drawer. And then he goes downstairs to my drum set, picks up one of the drumsticks, and walks upstairs and stands in the door frame of my sister's room with a fucking drumstick in his hand like this, like, almost, like, threatening her or something. I don't even know what the fuck he was doing. Anyways, I didn't actually see this. This is just what my sister said at the time. And I knew he stole a cookie because he was literally eating it on the way out of my house. So basically, he walks out of my house. He walks out of my house with the cookie in his hand. He's eating it. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I still barely knew him. I'm like, what the fuck did you just do? And I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? And I was kind of pissed. And then my sister told me that he was just, like, standing there and he had a drumstick in his hand. It was really weird. I'm like, okay, fuck this guy. But, like, low-key, I was like, okay, that's kind of funny. And then that was that. And then we became friends. I don't know how the fuck we became friends because of that, but that's just how it went. And that's the tale of Trav.